So we are going to solve another problem. This time, we are going to discuss a problem involving trusses. So we are going to analyze this given truss. By the way, we are going to make use of the joint method. So we are going to analyze this given truss, and we have to find the force for member BC, member AC, and member FH. So that we need to determine this member BC's force, also for member AC, and also for member FH. So, but let me begin with the force for member BC. So the truss here is given with loads of 7 kilonewton applied at point C, and another 7 kilonewton force applied at point G, and a force F which is inclined applied at a certain angle with the horizontal. So the force is 14 kilonewton. The angle that it makes with the horizontal is the same as this angle. So remember, the height of the truss is 1.5 meters. This one is 3 meters. This is 3 meters, 3 meters, and then another 3 meters. So the total length of the span for the bottom chord of the truss is 3 times 4. So that means this is 12 meters. But this one, the height is 1.5 meters. So we will be able to determine the value of the angle. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is to determine the value of the angle. To determine the value of the angle, all we have to do is to make use of trigonometric function. We can use tangent. Tangent of the angle of this angle, that means the opposite is the rise, adjacent is the run. So we have tangent of the angle, we will have is equals to, remember this is 1.5 meters. So the total height of member DE is 1.5 meters. So the member BC is at 3 meters from point A. And remember, this is 6 meters. So the analysis would tell us that the distance here from this point, from point B to point C, is this is half of the 1.5 meters. So this is 0.75 meters. So since this is 6 meters, the distance from point A to point E is 6 meters, and the distance from point B to point E is 1.5 meters. So by ratio and proportion, you would know that since this is 3 meters, this would be half of the 1.5 meters. So the tangent angle will be equal to, tangent of the angle is equals to 0.75 meters all over is to 3. Half, that is the value for the angle, will give us the value is 14.04 degrees. So after we are able to find the angle, then we can now take summation moment at either support. So you either take moment at point A or at point B. But take note that you have here a force F which is applied. This is 14 kilonewton, and this is applied at a certain angle with the horizontal. So we have to find out the horizontal and the vertical components of that particular force, 14 kilonewton. So if you are going to draw a dotted line here to represent, this is the vertical component of the force F. And then of course we have another line here. Let us represent this F sub B as the horizontal component. Sorry, that should be the horizontal component of force 14 kilonewton. So we need to make use of the value of the force horizontal and the force vertical to determine the reactions. If you would notice, we can make use of the value for force horizontal and force vertical by making use of the basic trigonometric function. So opposite over hypotenuse, that would be sine. Sine of the angle is equals to opposite would be F vertical all over the value of F. So we have now the value for the angle. Take note of that. So it would simply mean that F vertical is equals to F times sine of 14.04 degrees. So you have F vertical is equals to F times sine, wherein the value for F is 14 kilonewton. You have 14 kilonewton sine of 14.04 degrees. But if you would like to determine the horizontal component, you can use of another trigonometric function. Let's say we are going to use cosine of the angle. That will be adjacent to it is the horizontal component all over the value for F. And there you would have the value for F horizontal. So let me continue with the determination of the reaction first. So that's the first thing that we have to do. We need to determine the reactions at the supports. Before we analyze the entire truss, we need to we need to determine first the reactions at the supports. So the reaction at the supports may be determined by taking summation moment at either supports. So we either take moment at point A or moment at point H. So if we will take summation, moment at point A is equals to 0, then we will be able to determine the reaction R sub 2. Okay, we would have the reaction R sub 2. So let us try taking moment at point A. R sub 2 is going in the counterclockwise direction, while all the other forces, the 7 kilonewton is clockwise, another 7 kilonewton is also going clockwise. And then of course you have the force F with its horizontal and the vertical component, which is also going in the clockwise direction. So we will be able to determine the value of R sub 2 by taking summation moment at point A. R sub 2 with the perpendicular distance from point A is 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So that's basically 3 meters times 4 times. Okay, times 4. And that would be equal to, you have 7 kilonewton, which is going in the opposite direction. You multiply it by the distance from point A, that is 3 meters. Then we have another 7 kilonewton, by which the distance from point A is 3 times 3. 7 times 3 times 3. And that's 3 meters. Multiply it by 3 times. So that would be 9 meters. More 3 times 3. Plus, you would notice that we have here, using this trigonometric function, we can make use of F horizontal. F horizontal is going clockwise direction. So that would be 14 times cosine. That's basically F horizontal is equals to F cosine of the angle. So that was from the equation here. So that's 14 times cosine of 14.04 degrees. cosine 14, cosine of 14.04 degrees. And then we are going to multiply it by the distance, which is from point A, the distance of the horizontal component is 0.75. Okay, so that would be our first equation. Then you will have the value for the reaction 2. And according to our computation, the value is 8.7 kilo Newton. By the way, we are going to add the vertical component that is 14 sine of 14.04 degrees, and the distance from point A of that particular vertical component applied at point B is 3 meters. So that should be added in order to come up with this particular value of 8.7 kilonewton. Now, if you would like to determine, once we have found out the value of R sub 2, and you would like to determine the reaction at 1, you can, or reaction at A, you can take moment at point H. You either take moment at point H, or you just take summation of force vertical. Take note that the forces vertical for balance condition, all forces upward should be equal to all forces downward. So if you don't want to take moment, what you can do is you just take summation of force vertical is equals to 0. And that would mean that the reaction 1, okay, the reaction 1 should be added to the reaction 2, and that should be equal to all the forces going downward. We have 7 kilonewton, that's 7 kilonewton, plus another 7 kilonewton here, plus, of course, you have the vertical component F sub B, which is equals to 14 times sine of 14.04 degrees. So then we will be able to determine R sub 1 will be equal to, we have to calculate on that. That would give us R sub 1 is equals to 8.7 kilonewton also. So once you have identified the reactions, you can now proceed into determination of the force in all of the members. But the question here is we need to only to determine the force at member BC and member AC and member FH. So let us try solving for force in member AC. Okay. So the force at member AC, we will have, you have this equation. So we are going to use joint. Let's make use of joint A. In the joint A, if you are going to draw the figure, joint A, if we draw the figure here, so we will have here joint A. And at joint A, remember you have the reactions. This is 8.7 kilonewton. And then of course, in joint A, you have the member AB. And of course, you have the member AC. So what we need to identify is the horizontal and the vertical component. So let's say this is vertical component of the member AB. And then of course, this is the vertical component, while this one is the horizontal component. So what we are going to do is to determine the horizontal and the vertical reactions, or I mean the components of the member AB before we go through the determination of members BC. Okay, so intention or AB intention. Now take note that this angle is 14.04 degrees. So that is the angle. Then we need to make use of, just take summation of force vertical is equals to 0. All forces upward positive. The technique is you start with those which are given already, and you start with a joint with the least number of unknown members. So we will have AB vertical component is equals to 8.7 kilonewton. Take note that for the vertical component, that will be AB multiplied by sine opposite over hypotenuse. So you have sine of 14.04 degrees is equals to 8.7 kilonewton. So therefore, you will have the value for AB, which is equals to 35.86 kilonewton. And if you are going to indicate, that should be compression. Okay, so member AB is in compression. Now next, you just take summation of force horizontal equals to 0. Going to the right, positive. So we will have AC is equals to AB horizontal component. And take note that AB horizontal component is simply equals to AB cosine of 14.04 degrees. So therefore AC is equals to 35.86 times cosine of 14.04 degrees, and that would give us a value for AC, which is equals to 34.8 kilonewton. And take note that since the arrow is going away from point A, then that means we have tension for member AC. So if you would like to determine, once you have the value for AC, if you would like to determine the value of the force in member BC, all you have to do is to take joint C and then joint B, so that you will be able to determine the value for member AC. But I will not be showing it anymore to you. However, the same process will be used. All you have to do is to take the joint, and then from the joint, you have to indicate the free body diagram of the joint. You have to indicate all the essential forces applied to that particular joint. All members which are connected to that particular joint should be indicated. And then you have to know or to determine the horizontal and the vertical components of the forces. So we started with member AC. You can move on at joint C. At joint C, you will be able to determine the member CE force and then the member BC force. Once you have this, you can proceed into the other joints so that you will be able to determine the forces in all of the members of the trusses. So this is how you analyze truss using joint method. Okay, so that would be all for today. I shall see you again for my next vlog. This is Dr. Ramela Ramirez. See you all. Bye-bye.